Oh my gosh. Okay. So, hi. First, probably start with a hello, right? Because you may know me. Probably, if you're seeing this first video, you do know me in real life or online for some duration of time. Um, I have a friend named Carissa. That makes it sound like this is a lie. Like I'm saying, like, I have a friend. No, I really do have a friend named Carissa who has a business called Suburban Goddess MN. And I'm plugging that because this is one, her idea, and two, I'm rocking her cute ass earrings. She makes pom-pom earrings in all different colors, and these are really faint pink and green. Oh, they're so cute. I'm gonna with my strawberry shortcake. Point is, she had a great idea the other day because I've been really into bird painting, and I don't know why I was talking about this, but I was talking to her and I was talking about different jobs I've had, and currently I work in the mental health field. And I love it. I do love the work that I do. There's things about it that are tricky. There's things about it that maybe I don't love, aka paperwork, aka some of the pay structures, aka
Whoops, I might have sworn here.
insurance.
Just manage
Like, I'm
insurances.
glad we take it because it's accessible, but I hate that that's a system and people should just be able to get the help that they want. And that might be the first clue that I think some words that people could throw at me and would throw at me and potentially it might be negative, but I don't think that it is, would be liberal. I think, in all honesty, I'm probably far further left than liberal. I guess I haven't Googled the term. So maybe that, I don't know. I don't think it's offensive, but I would say that I do have pretty progressive ideas in that I do think people should have things like medical care and like food and like housing free of charge, because there's no logical reason to not, because quite honestly, countries that provide those at low or no cost, generally speaking, do better in the economic climate, like across like the global marketplace. And in the United States, people struggle to not live in their vehicles or even have a vehicle to live in. So I think that we probably could raise the bar, but we're not, and I have feelings about that. And working in the mental health profession, I'm very comfortable being in my feelings. That's not true of everyone. Please don't think that's true of everyone. That was an interesting side step. That's me. This is sort of my vibe, honestly, in a nutshell. But lately, so if you could maybe deduce, following the election, I was not thrilled with the result. And by not thrilled, I mean I was pretty sad. I have a, Clarity is the app that I use. It's like a CBT app, but it's also like a mood tracker, and that's the function that I primarily use. And like, I generally, my set point is pretty happy. Like most days it's a green smiley. And in the last like 3 months that I've been tracking, the 2 days that it was like this really sad smiley, the really sad frown, was election day and the day after. And then there was a lot of days where I was just like straight okay. Anyway, to cope and not become something I don't want to be, is how I will phrase that. I have started to paint birds. This is, okay, I keep calling it, I wrote bunting on it because it is a bunting, but when I Googled it, it said orange, like when I found this picture, it said orange-chested bunting, but that looks very yellow to me, as did the picture that I referenced. But it says orange, so I didn't get to discover the bird, I didn't get to name it, so I don't know what its name is, or how to sass that, because okay, sure, that's yellow to me, but I did use a little orange in some of the shadows. So I suppose, yeah, you could say that's orange-chested bunting. But I've been painting a lot of birds. Do you want to see some others? Doesn't matter, I'm going to show you. This isn't interactive. Here's a floofy little chonkster eastern bluebird. Look at that tree.
I was really excited about this tree, so I swore again. LOL, but it's a good tree.
An hour and a half on the tree. The bird was like, oh, you're still here? This is a blue herring. I like this one because this is like, the whole picture was like kind of the same color. And I was like, what a clever little bird. Just finding a place where it blends in so cute like. I love it. Cardinal. This one's pretty jolly. Now these were when I was like, ooh, I'll paint a big picture, but this is a cute little floof.
This is actually a black-capped chickadee versus a black-headed, which is what I said. That's black-capped chickadee.
Watercolor, my friends. That's some damn good snow. And this is a winter robin. Snow looks a little cartoony, but I'm here for it. So, anyway, I've been painting birds, and it makes me hate my life not so much. It makes me feel less despair about the state of things and the work that needs to be done. I am not the best person to listen to. I'm going to name that right up front. About what you could be doing, should be doing. If you want to do that, I would really highly recommend that you find the endless supply of incredible content by Black women who have been doing the large part of work, labor, and moving us forward for like equality and progress since like ever. So that I would recommend that. But if you can believe it, this has nothing to do with what I'm going to be talking about. This is just an introduction to who I am. And sometimes I go off on side quests of thoughts, and that is clearly what has happened. I'm cleaning up my morning art stuff. I've gotten into, at least this week, the routine of getting up early, going to bed early, and then getting up early and painting for a few hours. And I did the whole bunting painting this morning, which feels almost unbelievable. Because the last one, the chonky little bluebird, that one took me like 3.5 hours throughout the whole day. It was the one bird I painted yesterday. It was good fun.
Oops, swearing again. I swear I don't swear this much in real life. I was just really jazzed.
What? Introduction. So I've worked a lot of jobs. I started working when I was, not that old. 15, 16 in there, because also I didn't have a license, and my friends or my parents had to drive me. I didn't get a license till I was 20 years old, like 20 and a half, honestly. I was on the close end to 21. So then I had to renew my license right away, and that was annoying. Shoot, I think my license is, I gotta renew it this winter. Just gonna quick jot that down. Renew license. Check. Okay. And I was chatting with Carissa of the Suburban Goddess MN, who's got good self-care, and I will probably plug her quite a bit, so you should just check it out now. But do what feels right. I also love Diet Coke, and if you don't, or you want to tell me how it's going to kill me, you know what? What won't, right?
I'm just trying to now cover these with bird chirps.
If Diet Coke's the worst thing I'm doing today, it's an all right day. So good. I love carbonation. So I started working as a teen, and I've had primarily jobs that were ironically in housekeeping and cleaning, because that is not a strength of mine. I hate that so much. And then also in food preparation, which also I hate and am bad at. So why my first jobs were things that I had no skill set for, I don't know, because they were willing to hire me. I didn't know better. Could be. But I also am someone that I would say is intelligent in that if intelligence is being measured by problem solving. And so what that equals when you are underpaid is maybe some, I don't want to say shenanigans. What I will say, I probably will say shenanigans. I would say some maybe flirting with the line of decency feels bold. So you know how when you have a kid who's really smart and they start acting up in class, sort of like the same thing, except they just, in my experience, for the jobs that I have held that have been like minimum wage and entry level, they treat you like
chirp,
you're
chirp,
so
chirp, chirp, chirp,
dumb.
chirp, chirp. Maybe
And,
swearing again. Just commenting how they
I
treat you like you're dumb.
So dumb that maybe the intelligence, and I also enjoy a nice little dash of whimsical and a little sparkle of humor, might lead to some under the radar and also, you know, honoring I was younger then, and I don't act in the same way now. Do I occasionally have some of the same feelings? Of course. Like, you know, when you're frustrated as a teen, you can be frustrated as an adult. It's just you have a better set of skills to choose what to do with it, right? It's like totally different. But at that time, I didn't. And as a young adult, that didn't happen. Because I also worked, one of the things that happened when I was in high school was that I had the first significant loss in terms of a death in my life, and it rocked my world. I struggled with anxiety and depression throughout like childhood and middle school and high school. But when this person who was really close to me died, and it like blew up my world because he was younger than me. I was 18 at the time, and he had just turned 18. He was a couple months into being 18 when he died from cancer, of all things. It was like, that's what? You know, at that point in my life, I'd never been exposed to like the fact that children get cancer and that these horrible things happen. And I was like, what the fudge? What the fudge? And so it rocked me. And it was supposed to be when we were like, where are you going to college? And they had this big thing. Side note, high school, they had this big thing on the wall. It's like, where are you going to college? How about we don't pressure that, huh? Because that was a freaking lie. They're like, you go to college and you'll be set for life. I went to college for a long time. I got 2 degrees. And you know what I have? Crippling debt and an inability to go beyond more than a paycheck to paycheck. And most of the time, anytime I come out with like even 20 cents to the good, I'm like, what a freaking rock star 2 weeks. And I'm not touching that. I have more debt now than I had when I graduated because of the interest. It's absolutely gnarly. But I believed the lie, and also I needed something to change my life. But, and also it was really pushed because in high school, they had this freaking huge thing that was like, where are you going to college? And I was like, I don't freaking know. So I lied. I don't know what I said. I think I said a technical college nearby. I didn't. What I did instead was I went to work full time. And that was the first time I'd ever had a full-time job. I was 18. And it was in retail. And I won't say where. I won't talk about the names of any of these workplaces, obviously, because I don't want, inevitably, right? People are like, you can't talk about your own experiences if it harms a corporation because we value the rights of corporations. And that appears to be both true now and likely more true in the coming years. So I will refrain from sharing the names. What I will say is that I worked for the most part, large corporations. So retail, I'll just call box store, no matter which retail version it is. And for housekeeping, I'll say like large chain, or I did do one that was briefly for a small business. We'll just say small business. Yeah, we'll just do that. And I'm not going to touch any of the anything else. Those will be pretty much the 2. Because there's a lot there. there's a lot there. And while I do that, my intention is to be going through various parts of the painting process. Now, for me, I use a reference photo because I watch these artists and it's like they're like, oh, the light's probably coming from, like, this is coming out of your brain. And if you know the light's there, and I get what people are like, it's sort of like when people describe time zones to me. Another thing that is a basic concept that I cannot, people have been trying for decades, people. It's not coming in here. I understand it and I don't understand it at the exact same time. So when the light comes in and they're saying, I'm like, what does that mean to me? I'm just gonna I'm gonna put it wherever it seems good. I don't know. So I usually look for a reference photo. So that's what I'm doing today, to sketch a few. reference photos. I've been doing primarily tree bird. Those aren't real, are they? No, that was color changed. They're like pastel rainbow birds. That would be cool if that was real. Obviously I'm susceptible to AI, so let's not judge me for that. You can judge me for whatever, that's fine. Yeah, so anyway, I worked, gosh, so many jobs. And I remember being so what's the word? I wouldn't say it was disenchanted, but discouraged, deeply depressed about the fact that I did not have the skill set to work retail full time. And not because of the tasks. I think there's this misconception that I see happen, and I've seen throughout my whole life, because I come from a working, I hate this, but like working class family, where my parents, for the most part, and one still does, was in manufacturing in terms of like a factory setting. And my brother works retail and has for his adult life. And I worked retail for 1 year and I couldn't hack it. And the difficulty isn't necessarily, because some people are like, those jobs aren't hard. I'm gonna go ahead and disagree. Hardest freaking job that I ever had were those jobs. And not sometimes for the task. Sometimes there's like, especially like housekeeping, some retail stuff, there was real backbreaking physical labor involved. But it's much more of the way that you have to deal with being treated, like constantly treated like you're a freaking idiot, and somehow at the same time like everything is your fault. Like, I'm so sorry, Susan, that we're out of your particular product, and that is such a bummer, totally. But do you think that I, as a lowly associate, can do anything for you? I check the back. I'm giving you my greatest empathy, but I am not being paid enough to care that deeply. And now you're yelling at me, and that might make you feel better, but you know what I can't afford on what I'm getting paid here? Therapy. So how about you just bottle that up and bring it to your therapist? Or figure it out, get a journal. But no, you're not allowed to say that, because then you're difficult. So you're just silently being like, having to deal with some of the truly most ridiculous questions, being treated like you're both an idiot and somehow should know everything and are responsible for everything. It's this outrageous standard that you can't speak to. And it's like, wow, that's their job. No, I don't think their job was putting up with your shit. That's just a byproduct of a culture where we value the organization. We order these corporations much more than we order value the individual people in them. Yup. So, as you may have guessed, I did not I mean, collectively, honestly, I probably did 5, 6 years, maybe, between all of those jobs. Oh, that's cute. What is that? Is that a bunting? I don't know. So clearly I needed to find a different option for my life. And to some degree, I feel like I am still looking for that option in my life. Because I love what I do, but I'm still in that pickle of not quite getting paid enough that I can feel like I can actually have any sense of breathing room. Like, I don't need to get into the nitty gritty, but you know, if you're going like check to check, generally speaking, anything that comes out of the norm, you're like, oh,
chirp, 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 chirp,
oil
chirp.
change. Yep, see you next pay period. You know, it's like, it's a pretty agonizing chronic stress thing to be in. And then also chronic stress has this whole thing, right, where it can, you know, shorten your lifespan. And it's kind of an issue, but we collectively, as a society, I live in the United States, don't seem to care. We're like, oh, well, but you know what? That corporation has a right to not provide things. That's fine. Why would we want our citizens to be healthy and like not be in chronic stress just because it would make us more productive and our quality of life go better and probably decrease crime and have a lot of benefits for our whole system? Why would we do that? Because you know who would suffer then? So many billionaires. They would probably maybe only have millions. We could never do that to them. It's just so stupid. Anyway, so that's kind of the vibe. That's the vibe. So it'll be birds and perhaps a little bit of... Am I allowed to
Here
swear?
on the
Is
swearing
can I say
matter,
that?
but I will just
I don't
call
know
it
what the rules
spicy
are.
chatting, is what we'll call it.
Another suggestion was to call it... What was it? I can't think of it. Name to be determined. But this is the intro. So if you liked this vibe, pop back on another time and you'll see more. And oh, duh. Here, let me show you the birds that I will be sketching. That'll be the next part. Oh, can I switch this?
Could I have edited this out? I think so. But I think there's something nice about not.
These will be the next birds that I'm sketching at the next installment, which will be whatever the hell this is. I don't know. I don't immediately see what it is. And this cutie. And this house finch. Look how cute they are. I freaking love it. They're cute little bird faces.